What's up, y'all? Goofy Rexy here. Hope everybody is doing well, and welcome, guys, to the weekly headliner update, week number 70. Now, if you're new to the weekly headliner, this is where we discuss what is upcoming this week in Marvel Strike Force, and then we recap the important topics from the previous week as well. Now, this week is a big week. We do have Cosmic Crucible that's going to be arriving here. We have a lot to think about in terms of prep, and then we're also going to talk about some of the rewards and my thoughts towards that as well. The Madeline Pryor event, that's going to be coming to a close this week. We're going to talk about some important details as it relates to the A Force of Nature event. We also have, or we got an announcement that the Famine Horseman is going to be coming to Marvel Strike Force in patch 6.2. So we're going to talk about team comps to help you prepare for that in the next patch. And then there might be a raid sim coming. Is that actually a thing? Like a raid sim might actually be coming. We're going to be talking about that, guys, and so much more on the weekly headliner update. And we're going to start right now. All right, y'all, welcome back. And like I said, we got a lot of stuff to talk about here in today's video. And there's a few. So first thing I'm going to talk about is Cosmic Crucible. And with Cosmic Crucible, there's a few things I want to go through. Confirm and talk about some dates here. Want to talk about some of the challenges that definitely may arise when it comes to selecting and picking teams, which I think adds to the excitement of what Cosmic Crucible could be. So that's actually something I'm excited about in terms of the actual challenge. Talk about the rewards as well. I do think the reward so far, the way that it looks to me, leaves a lot to be desired. So we'll also talk about that as well as we go through Cosmic Crucible. But first, let's talk about some dates, right? So Cosmic Crucible is supposed to start on May 11th, which is going to be Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific time. The first 48 hours, you're going to be putting your defensive teams together, right? So won't be able to do any attacks yet. But the first 2 days, you're going to be setting your defensive teams in your different stages, as they mentioned, which are rooms in Cosmic Crucible. By the way, I think this is a really nice touch that they're doing the first 48 hours on the playtest server. We only had 24 hours to be able to do it. I think that the reason why this decided to go this direction, though, was because they probably wanted players to be able to look at whatever those room buffs were going to be and then make a decision as to what teams they wanted to place there. The actual attack was, as I said, May 13th. So place your teams on defense and then kind of figure it out from there. Now, I don't want to talk about all the teams that I'm going to recommend. I'm going to make a video specifically that's going to be centered around Cosmic Crucible teams, what I'm going to be going in with, what I would recommend. We'll probably make that video sometime tomorrow here. But I do think that the challenges that I'm seeing is that right now in Marvel Strike Force, right, we have about 12 to maybe 15 good meta teams in Marvel Strike Force. And some of those meta teams, like I said, they're good. They're not like in the top tier echelon of teams. We know that there's going to be two specific right now Cosmic Crucible teams, one which is not released as of yet, which makes me think maybe they probably should have waited until that team was released before they released Cosmic Crucible. But either way, it kind of is what it is. And then you have these room buffs, right? So the question is, like, what teams do you place on defense and which ones do you keep on offense? And you have to do that thinking about these room buffs. So this is a data mine from last week that came out on the 5th. And kind of detailed out each room and what debuffs they're going to have for the teams. For stage 1 and 2, nothing there, no debuffs there. Stage 3, defense reversal. So on all characters' turns, flip defense up, deflect, and evade on that character's ally. So the way that I think about these defensive rooms is, number one, I want to place teams on defense that will call a counter to a team that will be negatively impacted by these buffs, right? Or I want to think about throwing a team on defense that's a good team that won't be affected negatively by these buffs, because both offensive and defensive teams will be affected by these buffs that are here. So for like stage 3, I'm like, okay, I probably want to throw a team there that maybe Secret Avengers would want to counter. So therefore, when they go in, that they're gonna end up getting their deflect and defense up, flipped. Or for defense, I may want to throw Infinity Watch on defense because I know that they spawn with Safeguard in this room, and that won't be flipped, at least for the first 2 turns that those characters take, that they won't be flipped. So at least I'll be safe where that is concerned. For stage 4, slow down. On all characters' turns, if that character has speed up, clear all positive effects and apply 2 turns of slow and trauma to that character. So defensively, I'm like, I don't want to put web warriors there. I don't want to put symbiotes there. I don't want to do that at all, because I know that they do get speed up. They benefit from speed up quite a bit. So therefore, I don't want to put those teams on defense at all. More so symbiotes. Like I think, I'm trying to remember if, yeah, they do get speed up outside of war. Web warriors do as well whenever a character evades. So therefore, I want to avoid putting that team in that room. Stage 5 is just like, whoa. Cosmic Catastrophe, they call this. All characters who passively return, whenever they return with 1 health. Oof. On all characters' turns, reduce speed bar by 50% for that character's cosmic allies. So once again, like Infinity Watch, no, I don't want you there. I don't want you there at all. Dormammu teams, probably don't want to put them here. Any other strong cosmic characters, right? Deathpool, Eternals. I don't want to put these characters in this room. Even Darkhold. I think Darkhold's a couple cosmic characters there as well. I want to avoid this room at all costs. Stage 6, time dampening. All speed bar increases and decreases have no effect for all characters. So Eternals, yeah, those 2 ults will reduce the speed bar. Probably don't. Once again, want to probably throw a team on defense that would definitely be heated by Eternals. Maybe want to throw them in there because, you know, some of what the Eternals do is going to be negated by this room. And then, of course, there's sort of like these global sort of buffs to all defensive teams. Defending characters gain plus 20% health and then also plus 10% damage. So it's just a lot to think about. I think this adds to the excitement of Cosmic Crucible, in my opinion. But of course, if you don't have a big roster, this probably definitely will be not as beneficial. And I'm curious about the matchmaking too. I'm hoping that the matchmaking is going to be done right. They're doing it based on TCP, which I think TCP doesn't tell the full story, so there can definitely be some concerns there as well. But what are your guys' thoughts when it comes to sort of like these rooms, and what are you thinking? I think Infinity Watch, Young Avengers, some of those teams, Darkhold, like those are some of the teams that definitely will stand out as we sort of move forward throughout Cosmic Crucible. But like I said, stay tuned for that video tomorrow where I will talk about specific teams. Now, also wanted to talk about the rewards, right? So they mentioned the rewards and what you're going to be able to get from these rewards. So rewards here will be granted based on your division. The higher your placement, the better the rewards, including tons of teal gear each session. Advance to the next division by achieving high rankings in tournaments, which will increase your tribunal rating. Each KO in a match will net Cosmic Crucible credits, which you can use to spend in the Cosmic Crucible store on items like teal, orange, purple gear pieces. And they gave you a picture of what the rank rewards look like. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not necessarily blown away by this. I think it's okay. One of the biggest thing that stood out to me was in rank 1, you get 1,250 elite Cosmic Crucible credits. And if you jump into the store right now, that's not enough credits for you to be able to open up a teal gear Crucible orb, right? So something is off there. We don't have the full picture. I'm not gonna tell you that this is trash because I just don't have the full picture on it. But initially looking at this, I don't know if the tons of teal gear that they're saying is definitely adding up from where I'm sitting right now. Even the regular Cosmic Crucible credits that you're able to get, if I want to buy, let's say, a mini unique right now, like pathogens or the tachyons, I have to spend $29.25 in order to be able to get just 3 of these pieces. By the time I spend that, I'm out of Cosmic Crucible credits. So I don't know what math or how they're kind of adding these things up, but to me right now, the way I look at it, it just doesn't really add up from where I'm sitting. Unless, as I said, it did say with knockouts, right? It did say that with knockouts, you're going to be able to earn some Cosmic Crucible. Each KO in a match will net Crucible credits, not elite Crucible credits, so definitely won't help there. But it will net Crucible credits. But maybe they did mean elite Crucible credits too. Maybe that's what's gonna add up to you being able to get tons of teal gear. I'm just not entirely sure based on what I'm seeing right now. Now there's gonna be a launch event. This launch event is you're gonna be able to get some calendar. There's gonna be a calendar with Cosmic Crucible credits. That's right here. Also gonna be able to get shards for Wakandans. You're also gonna be able to get more Crucible credits. There's gonna be a milestone where you're gonna be able to get some Crucible credits. So that may tie in to one of the milestones for the A Force of Nature event. That's probably what we're thinking. And then they also mentioned some gear as well that you're going to be able to get through a milestone for kind of the Cosmic Crucible launch party. So curious to see how things sort of pan out here. What are your thoughts? Like I said, we'll talk about specific teams tomorrow, but could be exciting. Could be, I just hope it's not a flop like what RTA was, but I'm taking that the fact that they've taken some time before they released it and that they're doing this. They look like they're kind of doing it the right way. They just need to take a look at those rewards. I think those are kind of lackluster in my opinion right now. All right, the next thing I wanted to talk about here is the Madeline Pryor event, and this milestone is going to be ending on Wednesday night. And my thoughts towards this is that I didn't enjoy this event whatsoever. It's just more blitz on top of blitz on top of blitz. Essentially, this entire month is going to be a blitz heavy month, right? It's essentially what it is. But the event itself, I know that there were some players that said that it actually is completable free to play. It just requires an insane amount of grind in order to be able to do it. Because of course you have your war battles, you have your blitzes. And of course you have your daily objectives. So they did say that it's actually completable free to play. I haven't done the math on it, so I mean I there's no way to confirm it, but either way it feels really bad, I think, to kind of work and grind so hard for an event to only earn 150 character shards. I think that's kind of bad. At least you would like to be able to know that, hey, I've earned a 4-star character, a 3-star character, especially Madeline Pryor, who is not necessarily a major stat. At least she's a squishy health character. Would have been nice to getting some higher stars on her. But I do want to say that this event did have some pretty good stuff. I do understand that if you kind of take the place of, hey, I play regularly and I just get free stuff and free stuff is free stuff, that's cool. Like I actually, for you guys, this probably doesn't suck as much, right? Like you really don't care about it. But there were a lot of really good things that were here in this milestone. I still want to say there's some basic orbs here. You also had some silver promos. There was some Origin Mystic gear that's here. There's these mini uniques, right? Which a lot of us depleted by investing into Darkhold, and maybe even if you invested heavily into your Dark Hunters as well for the Scourge event. Hey, you're probably really were out of these, so it's nice to kind of start to build this back up a little bit again. And of course, milestone 35 was probably the really big one, right? Where you're able to get Captain Marvel's helmet, which gave you 6,000 points towards the A Force of Nature milestone. Now, in regards to the A Force of Nature milestone, my thing is this: like, I can't tell whether or not I'm doing well or if I'm doing bad in the A Force of Nature milestone. Like, I have zero idea to know whether or not this is going well or not. But we do know that there's going to be 10 milestones that are going to contribute here to the A Force of Nature. We know so far that we've had Goblin Queen, right? We've had the Quick Rumble Blitz, which was for Hydra, and that Hydra Blitz was not taken very well because there was no gold in it. Accompany that with the fact that we have a 4-day character blitzes right now. They're also giving us they're giving us the same amount of gold that a 3-day character blitz would, right? It doesn't necessarily feel as great, so we're kind of missing some gold right now, but that's the second milestone that we've done so far. Then we have an alliance milestone, right? Which is kind of easy right now. It's the A's for Allies milestone, where you spend your ISO A campaign energy. Pretty easy to be able to go through and get some good stuff there, some emblems as well, which of course are contributing to the A Force of Nature milestone. And then we know that there's going to be another alliance milestone that is going to be starting, I believe it's May 11th, the same day as, right here. It's called Victory Blueprint, which is going to start on May 11th, so the same day as Cosmic Crucible. Now, this event here is a little bit different. The way that you earn points is that it's a 7-day milestone. You're going to be spending campaign energy, excluding campaign energy, earning war credits, and then spending war energy refills in order for you to be able to count towards this milestone. Now, this obviously is an alliance milestone. It's going to be the activity of everyone that's going to be involved. A couple highlights for this Victory Blueprint alliance milestone here. It's going to reward Cosmic Crucible credits. You're also going to be able to earn fragments towards a new Legacy Orb 3. You're going to be able to get JJ's helmet, which is going to give you 8,000 points towards the A Force of Nature milestone. So that's definitely going to be helpful, right? And then they're introducing this new, they mentioned it here, that the A Force of Nature milestone, this is a double whammy with rewards that will give you progress towards a Force of Nature milestones and give you the new T2 level 4 Ion. So we've been wondering, like, when is this going to be coming to Marvel Strike Force? So with this event here, you're going to be able to get these new ions, these new T2 level 4 ions to add towards your characters here. Now this new T2, there's a specific blog post here that talks about the T2 level 4 ions. So this T2 level 4 ISO 8 characters equipped with a level 4 class will see a boost, 10% boost to armor, to focus, to health, and then also resistance. Now this may not seem like a really big upgrade, but it's really a lot, especially focus and resistance when you're thinking about teams like Darkhold. Now when you're thinking about game modes like Cosmic Crucible, this boost is definitely going to be a pretty big deal. The health, of course, is also going to be pretty big, and armor is sort of like a nice little added bonus that's there as well. But new ions, oh boy, we kind of knew this was coming. If you filter out, if you look at your roster right now with characters that have blue ISO 3 on them, we knew that this was coming, right? The T2 level 4 ions, and then there's also these T2 level 5 ions that are going to be coming in the future at some point, which we don't know exactly when that's going to be happening. But this is a new bottleneck now that we're going to have to pay attention to. I'm hoping that they're going to be alleviating the old bottleneck of the old ions, because right now, if you click on the crystal and if you want to fuse it, you can see the cost right here, right? You can see the cost of the 40k ions that we already have already, and then now the 60k ions that we'll need as well. And of course, we don't know exactly what 415,000 of the new T2 level 4 ions in order for you to be able to upgrade your character to T4. Right? So it's 60k per crystal and now 415,000. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a massive bottleneck here. And I feel like they need to find some way as well to alleviate a little bit of the pressure that we feel with the old ions, because they go pretty quickly. The crystals, you can kind of grind away and get them a little bit, but the ions, definitely we're not getting enough of those. So I'm hoping that there's going to be some relief where that's concerned. Now this event is going to be the only way that you're going to be able to earn these T2 level 4 ions, based on what they said in the blog post here, unless I read that wrong. In the future though, in version 6.2 of Marvel Strike Force, that's when we're going to find out more information as to how. So this is just a taste of what's to come. Information where you can get more T2 level 4 ions on a recurrent basis will be announced to the release of version 6.2 in a couple of months. So we're going to find out some more information there. But yes, that's another milestone that's going to be contributing here to the A-Force of Nature milestone in its entirety, with a lot of stuff that's going to be involved there. We have another Quick Rumble Blitz, which they mentioned, which is going to be a military, that's going to feature military characters there on that Quick Rumble Blitz that's going to be coming on Thursday. So now that will give us a total of 5 milestones, right? Which means that there's still a couple milestones that we are missing. Now, if we go back to the previous blog post where they talked about all of these different milestones that are going to be coming with the A-Force of Nature event, they mentioned that this is going to include 4 solo milestones, 2 alliance milestones, 4 new Quick Rumble milestones, right? So 2 Quick Rumble milestones have already happened already. There's 2 more Quick Rumble milestones that are going to happen, right? Or there's 1 Quick Rumble milestone that already happened. There's 1 coming this week, and there's going to be 2 more. Then we already also now know the 2 alliance milestones. Those are going to be happening. So what's missing right now are these 3 solo milestones. I think one of those milestones is going to be that Cosmic Crucible milestone that we just talked about for their launch event. I think that's probably going to be one of the milestones, one of the solo milestones there. And I also think that we saw a data mine for Nico Minori's release in the data mines, that her event is going to be in the milestone event. So I'm assuming as well that Nico Minori's is going to be that next milestone. So that would leave us with 1 solo milestone that's left, but still not knowing how many points we're going to be able to get from those. Still definitely concerning. And I think what a lot of us are concerned about is, okay, well, am I going to be able to have enough to complete and get all the way through milestone 40? Am I going to be short, by only getting to milestone 38? Or am I going to be cut off at milestone 39? A lot of us just don't know, and we need more information to know where we're going to be able to land, especially because these dark promo credits really, really important and impactful, right? To be able to get the next legendary horseman. So a lot of us would really like to know what is going on, to be able to keep track of how well we're doing in terms of progress right now. So hopefully they're going to be releasing some information on that soon. But yeah, what are your guys' thoughts where this is concerned? How do you feel about the A-Force of Nature event? How do you feel about all the stuff, right? The blue ISO, the T2 level 4. Oh man, and then T T level 5 is supposed to come at some point in time in the future, right? When is that going to happen? Are they going to relieve us of the old ions? Because you're going to need the old ions to also fuse for the new T2 level 4. So many things, guys, to think about. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are here. All right, and this was a big topic from for last week, right? The next horseman that's coming to Marvel Strike Force is going to be Famine. And we finally saw the in-game mail, and it actually made a post or included it in our blog post. Even the strongest vegetation withers in the presence of Apocalypse's second horseman, Famine. Now, I'm sure that some of you guys are really intelligent or just know a lot of information about what potentially this could mean. So I want to see, guys, who are you thinking is probably going to be the Famine horseman? But the bigger thing that we focused on here last week was, okay, now we know who the next trait is, the next characters that we're going to need for those higher difficulties, right? In the next Scourge event, nodes 5 and nodes 10, right? Difficulty 5 and above, it's going to be A-Force, Young Avengers, and then also Inhuman. So the questions were going around, hey, what's the best team comp? Who should I be invested into? I made a video about it. I talked about it. I think that Young Avengers and A-Force are probably the best direction to go in. A-Force will probably be Yo-Yo, or taking out maybe Nico and using Spider-Woman, or taking out Spider-Woman and then using Yo-Yo, Black Bolt with JJ and CM, and then probably just one A-Force, one of the new A-Force characters, because we don't know how many shards you're going to be able to get on those new characters. And I do think that A-Force is a little concerning to me in regards to how you're going to be able to move forward with them. So I did make a video talking about that. I think at higher levels, right, for players who are probably endgame or most likely going to be invested into the Young Avengers team, they're a war defense team, but they're incredibly good even outside of war defense as well. I've seen that in Avengers Tower. They're amazing. They can do amazing punch-ups there. And even in the last Scourge event, I used them as a sack team in one of the heroes nodes, and mine was only 477, 2 characters at gear tier 12, and they were able to kill a couple characters, not just be a sack team, but were able to kill a couple characters as well. So definitely a lot better than I thought that they would be. So Young Avengers probably a full team, but I thought about maybe some A-Force characters with Inhumans that probably could work for you, right? So if you don't have let's say that you probably don't want to invest into A-Force, JJ, CM, Yo-Yo, Black Bolt, and Crystal are probably a decent comp that could work for you. Now, I know that there were some players that mentioned, hey, what about using Miss Marvel, Squirrel Girl, CM, Yo-Yo, and Black Bolt together? I do think that that's a good comp. My concern for you, though, is what about if Node 5 and Node 5 where you lose a couple characters, or maybe you lose one character or whatever? Do you really want to just tie yourself to just using one character? I saw that if you're pushing for these higher stars on the Scourge, the legendary horseman, that you really want to be able to bring a team in that can survive and get through node 5, have a secondary team that you can use in node 10 as a sack team that can maybe kill a character or two, and then go and clean up with your main team. So I don't know if you want to put all your eggs in your basket by just focusing on one team, but I will say that if that's the boat that you're in, then I think that your best bet, because all of these characters are available to you right now in Marvel Strike Force. With respect to maybe Black Bolt, who's a legendary character, I don't know if you've unlocked him yet. I'm talking more about people who are at lower levels here, right? Miss Marvel, Squirrel Girl, CM, Yo-Yo, and Black Bolt, I think would be a great comp that would work. Miss Marvel obviously has a synergy there with Squirrel Girl and CM because of with the assists. I think that's gonna work. That's gonna work really well. Yo-Yo obviously with the ability to apply offense down, although her focus could be a little bit of a concern. So we'll see how that works out. And then Black Bolt and Yo-Yo working really well together. Maybe you're saying, hey, I don't really care about Black Bolt. I don't want to use JJ for the ability energy. You can also take out Black Bolt and use JJ for the ability energy as well, and go with an all-female team. I think which I think is pretty cool too. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Concerns about A-Force, man, is just that a lot of their abilities and skills, like the new characters, I'm just not really feeling it outside of war. Same thing with Dark Hunters. I think Dr. Voodoo was good, right? And I always thought that he would be fine. But the rest of the characters I wasn't sure about on the Dark Hunters team in the previous Scourge event. Same thing here again. Unless you have I know that Dorky Dad did make a video with the Dark Hunters and saw how it worked really well. He had a massively beefy Dark Hunters team. I'm not sure that that's going to be repeatable by a lot of players with the A-Force team, especially with the way that they're being released right now, or at least Spider-Woman, right? We just don't know if we're going to be able to get 4 stars on her or not. I just don't know if that anybody wants to put all their eggs in that basket. I am sort of amending and saying that I'm probably not going to put my eggs in that basket either. I am most likely to go with a 2-person team that has a combination of JJCM, Yo-Yo, Black Bolt, and maybe even Crystal for the Scourge event, because ultimately I'm just not really sure that I'm willing to invest into Spider-Woman and Nico for a Scourge event. I just don't think it's going to be realistic. So those are my thoughts there. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. I'm curious to see what you're thinking there. Wanted to also talk about this. I think this is really important to mention as well. There might be a raid sim coming. There might be a raid sim coming tomorrow with Strike Force. So obviously with Cosmic Crucible rolling around the corner here, they made a statement. There was definitely some concern about screen time. There's been a lot of concern about screen time overall, but they mentioned this in the blog post, streamlining raid content. So with the release of Cosmic Crucible, we know that players will be excited to spend time strategizing and executing their tactics to rack up victory points. To ensure that you have time to focus on Cosmic Crucible, the dev team has been working on several methods to streamline experiences elsewhere. Coming in the subsequent release of version 6.2, players will be able to cut a significant amount of manual input currently required in several of the raids. We have more details to share. So for me, manual input obviously means there's going to be some things that are going to be sim, right? Now, I don't think anybody's really simming Doom raids, but for Greek raids would be nice. It would be nice to be able to take some of that time and not have to deal with Greek raids. You know what else I would like for them to cut some time on too? Blitz sim. Like if I could just go through, homie, and just sim all my blitz teams, whoever wins. All right, that's it. I don't really care. We'll optimize our teams to make sure that they always win if we need to do so. But for me personally, that would be another thing. There is too much time in blitzing taken right now in the game. There's too much blitz. This past event is blitz. We got the quick rumble blitzes. There's way too much blitz going on right now on Marvel Strike Force. So in my personal opinion, I would like to see them make some changes where that is concerned as well. Some of the information that was mentioned here too, Magneto is going to be becoming a permanent legendary. Black Bolt is going to be going to being a quicker rotation cycle, which I think will be definitely helpful in the future for players. As well, would be nice if the Black Bolt event comes around first before the next Scourge event happens, right? But of course we get them on May 9th. So I mean, it doesn't really give you much time to prepare. I'm sorry, guys. They never give you enough time to prepare. And then Payday is coming out this week. I always talk about Payday. I know it's not a big deal, but more gold is more gold, and I'm always excited about more gold. Leave me alone. And then Pestilence Scourge compensation. I want to talk about this too. This was really good. This took a while to come up with the comp, but there were obviously some issues here with the Pestilence Scourge event, and just the delays, the way that they screwed up the actual compensation, the proper compensation that was supposed to become the rewards for the event. We were definitely, this compensation needed to happen, right? So happy that they gave us this compensation here. This was actually pretty good. 500 cores, 10 teal raid orbs. I mean, it's more than I would have had before. 240 actually giving you enough to be able to upgrade an ability. Thank you. 1 million gold, and then of course the Elite 5, which I was really happy about because I spent an Elite 5 on Spider-Woman. So thank you. Thank you for doing that. So I want to give kudos where kudos is due. I think this was a nice touch by Scopely, by Boundless. We definitely appreciate it. But this is going to be the conclusion, guys, of all the stuff that we just talked about here. Where your guys' thoughts are on all these things that are happening right now. I mean, the Madeline, the A-Force of Nature milestone, Cosmic Crucible. Are you excited about that? Personally, I am a little excited about it. I'm looking forward to it as well. The A-Force of Nature, the milestones. We need some more clarity on just to be able to keep track of where we are. Like, are we doing well? Like, am I doing well in the A-Force of Nature event? I have no idea. Can't really tell right now. Would like to be able to get some more clarity on that where that is concerned. What are you going to be doing when it comes to your Scourge, your Famine Scourge team? How are you guys going to be preparing for that, right? What are you going to be using? I know I'm going to be going in with Young Avengers. I am probably going to build up JJCM, Yo-Yo, Black Bolt, and maybe I might use Crystal as that 5th character, or if I get some good decent stars, maybe on Spider-Woman or Nico, maybe I'll consider them as well, just as a 5th character. But overall, what your guys' thoughts are? Crystal is not terrible. I don't know if she's going to be incredibly helpful. She might add some additional healing for the other Inhuman characters. Question 2, like, are we going to be getting some new Inhumans next patch? Just curious why Yo-Yo, Crystal, and Quake, they get a buff there. I'm just curious as to what they're going to be doing with this Inhumans team. Maybe they're going to be giving us some new ones. Lower levels, of course, I know Squirrel Girl, CM, Yo-Yo, and Black will probably are some good options. But that's it, guys. We're gonna call it here. Appreciate you guys watching the video. Until next time, guys. Cosmic Crucible video coming out tomorrow. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be safe. Bye. Oh yeah, forgot to mention, hit the notification bell, guys. Hit the notification bell so you know when the videos do go live. All right, love y'all much.